So we are going to check out the D-Link DIR2150 today, and this is quite a simple dual band router, but its performance kind of surprised me, so let's check it out. Inside the box, you get some papers with a quick setup guide, a small power adapter, an Ethernet cable, and finally the router itself. The DIR2150 looks pretty decent, it is quite compact, and I appreciate the matte finish on it, which won't get scratched, and it can also be mounted on a wall. The 4 antennas on the router must be something that you have noticed, and we also have 4 LED lights that tell you about the status of network and wireless bands. At the back, we have a reset button, 4 gigabit LAN ports and 1 gigabit WAN port, a WPS button, and the power adapter socket and the power switch button. The setup is quite simple with the web interface that I used, but it can also be set up quickly with the D-Link Wi-Fi app, which also allows you to control the other settings on this device. The web interface is quite simple, and even though it looks a bit dated, it allows you to quickly reach to the settings that you need to, and again, you can access most of these settings with the D-Link app on your phone. We have WPA3 security available on this, which is the strongest version. We have support for VLAN on a router with 4 ports, and you can also enable guest Wi-Fi for when your neighbors ask you for your password. Parental controls allow you to restrict access to specific websites and specific devices, and you can also schedule these rules. Then we have quality of service, and the interface for this is quite easy to use, as you can just drag and drop different devices according to priority. We also have a built-in feature to test your internet speed powered by Speedtest. Then we have the usual features like a firewall, which will enhance the security. It supports port forwarding, and we also have support for VPN. The router can also automatically update its firmware, and we also have a statistics page to give you an overview of activities, and the system logging feature available can also be quite helpful. You can also use voice commands to control this router, but I had to say the commands a little differently than what is mentioned in the manual, and it also requires you to have a PIN for security, which requires the app to be running in the background on your phone, so it's not the most straightforward process. Now if you look at the price tag on this router, you may find it to be on the higher side for a Wi-Fi 5 router, but it has 4x4 MUMIMO support, which means that it has 4 streams that it can use simultaneously instead of 2 streams that many of the other routers in this range have, and that can make a big difference. And the performance that we have on this really surprised me, as with my ROG phone at a very close distance to router, I got almost 700 Mbps, but the really great thing about this was that I also got almost the same speed of 677 Mbps in the room next to the router, and in my company office, which requires the signal to go through multiple walls, the figure of 513 Mbps was also really impressive. Now I have tested some really expensive routers, and even with many of the Wi-Fi 6 routers, this competes really well in that specific location. The results on this were so good that I actually had to retake my tests, and then I also compared it to this TP-Link AX73, which I will be reviewing soon, and this is a Wi-Fi 6 router with 6 antennas that costs $140 or 10,000 rupees, and this was also only able to perform about 4 or 5% faster than this in that location, so the wall penetration of the D-Link router is really good. This was again tested with my ROG Phone 3, which is a 2x2 Wi-Fi 6 client. A 4x4 client might have been able to perform even better. The performance on the 2.4 GHz band was almost the same at around 100 Mbps, and changing the distance or number of walls in between didn't really have any effect on the performance. But this is what you should expect from a 2.4 GHz band at Wi-Fi 5. The range of this router is also pretty good for a single flat or a medium home, but again, the speed within this range is very good. So overall, the D-Link DIR2150 is a very good performing router. Its performance at a distance actually turned out to be even better than the budget Wi-Fi 6 routers that I have tested, and this is definitely going to be much better than the budget AC1200 routers that you may be able to find at half the price. And speaking of price, I am seeing it selling for up to 6,000 rupees or $80 online, but it's also fluctuating a lot, and it is dropping to 4,500 rupees or $60. So assessing its value for money is kind of difficult, as at 4,500 it does provide a really great value, while at 6,000 rupees it provides less than a really great value. For an AC2100 router, this is priced really well, as the other AC2100 routers from even brands like Tenda are also at a similar or higher price range, so I can see it as being a good option at this price tag. So if you are looking for a high performance dual band router, the D-Link DIR2150 definitely delivers. I do wish that it had a range extender mode, but the other routers that I have tested at its price also lack that, and D-Link does offer dedicated range extenders that allow you to create a mesh network. And that will be it for this video. I'll have links to buy this in the video description, where you can also check if there are any discounts going on this. Do give this video a thumbs up if you found it to be helpful, subscribe with bell, check out my Amazon store. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.